Testing, testing, testing. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay. Now you should be able to hear me. Sorry about that. So, all I was saying was, hi, welcome to the sip. Happy hump day. But like, oh, whatever. That's all lost now. Oh, well, doesn't matter. But the reason why that happened is because you can hear me now, right? Just want to make sure. You should be able to hear me. Let me turn this up a little bit more. Okay, great. The reason why that happened is because over the weekend, I cleaned my apartment really well. Other than just, sweeping the floors and like doing dishes and cleaning the kitchen and all that kind of stuff, I actually kind of, I dusted everything. I cleaned everything, which meant that I had to unplug my microphone from my my interface in order to get all the the little dust bunnies and everything. But then, of course, I forgot that I had unplugged my microphone. Literally, didn't I completely forgot. So that's why you couldn't hear me, because my microphone wasn't plugged in. But that's also because I did a pretty deep clean of my apartment, and it's really nice, actually. I organized things, I dusted. It was incredibly dusty. So yeah, so we're here. Wonderful. Hi guys. I don't even remember what I was saying when before I realized. But anyway, hi guys, welcome in. Happy Wednesday to you. It is Wednesday, August 24th. Oh, I remember now. It's Wednesday, August 24th. It is, in fact, hump day. Yes. I hope you guys are doing well. Of course. Hi, Mel. Hi, Pages, Emily, Lorraine, Gabrielle. That's everyone we have so far in the chat. But hello to everyone if you're tuning in here. Welcome into YouTube and to Twitch. It's wonderful to see you guys again. So I was saying we are at the end of August. So that means that, unfortunately, summer is coming to a close. And also, depending on where you are, at least in the continental United States, kids are going to be going back to school soon, if they haven't done so already. That's always such a weird thing for me to think of at this moment in my life, because hello, Queen of Wands, because I'm no longer in grade or high school. So it's just weird, to be at this time of the year to think, wow, I would be getting ready to get back into school, and summer vacation is coming to a close and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, it's really good to see you guys again. It's good to be here. It has been it has been a really very, very, very interesting few days, I will say. I did take time away this weekend. However, I ended up getting sick. And I didn't really, I kind of started feeling like a little sick. Like I got a bit of a cold late last week. But I didn't really do anything about it. I still was going out and having fun with friends and being a hoodlum and all that kind of stuff. But, by the time Sunday came around, it was I couldn't escape it any longer. It was really, really bad. And then Monday, I had a terrible migraine. Hi, Coco. You feel Mercury retrograde coming? Yeah, that's coming. But by Monday, I had a terrible migraine, and I just needed to continue to rest. It did carry into Tuesday, but now today I'm feeling much better. At least well enough where I don't have the migraine anymore, and I can sit and focus and channel and whatnot. So here we are. But it has been a very interesting few days for me. I've been doing a lot of journaling, a lot of paying attention to my dreams. I mean, yesterday, I think I wrote 4.5 pages worth of just between the dreams that I was having and all the thoughts that were going through my head and the feelings that I was going through. I mean, I wrote a lot. I've been writing a lot over the last few days. Migraines are the worst. They completely incapacitate you. And I only really get this particular type of migraine, which I believe is a sinus migraine, when I get a cold or something like that. It feels like there's like someone stabbing me in the back of my head, like right here, right where because your sinuses go up your nose and they stretch into the back of your head. And so it's very much sinus oriented, sinus related. And it completely like took me out. It was so painful. It literally felt like someone was stabbing me in the skull. And each time I would get that seize, and it would shock me, and I was not able to concentrate. So I had to take time away. But I'm feeling better. Yes, that was my body telling me I needed rest. You've done absolutely nothing for the last 2 days because you felt the exhaustion coming on. That's exactly what I did. Yes, I did absolutely nothing but sit with myself, sit with my feelings, sit with my emotions and my thoughts, and just write them down. So that I could, number one, so that I could get them out. But number two, so that I could also work towards understanding them and processing them. And that has been really wonderful, very therapeutic, very cathartic. You've been unnaturally itchy in the back of your head. That's interesting. Hello, Iggybot. Hi, Josiah, by the way. So here we are. And the funniest part, the funniest part about all this was that, like, I know a few of you have been reaching out, asking for private readings, but I have not been responding. I have not been scheduling those right now. Part of that is due to a bit of a lack of faith, feeling disconnected. But you know, it was Monday, and I was saying to myself, okay, well, obviously I still need to rest. And I was just wondering, when am I going to get back into things? Because I didn't know when I was going to feel well enough to get back in. And I did hear one of my guides say Wednesday. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess that seems reasonable. That's 2 days from now. I should be able to get myself together a little bit. Sure enough, here we are on Monday, and I'm feeling well enough to come through and channel some messages for you guys. So here we are. There was something else I wanted to say about that, but I don't really remember. But anyway, the theme, or the question, or the topic that I want to bring to the collective today, the topic that I want to talk about is this feeling of, are we going back to sleep? Now, I will explain a little bit of this from my point of view, what it is I've been dealing with, what it is I've been going through. For me, I realized that I was kind of toying with the idea of going back to sleep, in a sense. And what do I mean by back to sleep? I mean back to sleep in terms of having awakened to isn't there a secret chakra at the top of the spinal cord? There may be something other than like the main 7 chakras. There are hundreds of what we can call minor chakras within the body that are not the main 7, you know, from the root to the crown. But so there may very well be, Gabrielle, but I don't really know. I don't know for sure, unfortunately. But anyway, in terms of going back to sleep, so what I mean by that is us having gone through the process of awakening and having come to a certain level of that awakening, right? But then kind of like slipping backwards and kind of reverting back to old ways of life, or old circumstances, old habits, maybe even old jobs or things like that. Places that you've been in the past where you were more asleep versus what you've come out of it and come to now, and then kind of like backtracking a little bit. And for a while, for me, I always kind of thought, well, once you wake up, you can never really go back to sleep. But now I'm starting to find that that's actually not the case. You can choose to literally turn around and go back instead of old timelines, instead of continuing to move forward in the quote new timeline you would find yourself in after gone through a certain process of, or a level, getting to a level of awakening. For me, that has been me saying to myself, I don't even know if I want to continue being a reader in this way. it was me saying, I don't want to completely stop reading for people, but because I know it's a gift, a very strong gift that I have. I'm very good at it. But because of certain circumstances right now, I felt like I felt like I needed to let go of this. Part of me has been really wanting to just walk away from this altogether. And specifically, maybe not even take money for it, still do the readings and whatnot, but not charge people for it, blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. And in just feeling through that and talking through that and with myself and with other people, a very, very dear friend from Brooklyn and my parents also, I found myself saying things like, Pages, you're saying you've begun calling this the stall or void. You stagnate, and then those old timelines don't resonate. Well, yeah. So as I was talking through this with myself and with others, I found myself saying things like, I just want to be a normal person. I don't want to be a whole woo-woo, like energetic healer anymore. Like, I'm tired of it. I just want to go back to being a normal person. And it wasn't until, quite frankly, and I'm not going to go too deep into the personal aspects of this, but it wasn't until I brought that to my parents when I spoke to them, because it was my mom's birthday on Monday. Happy birthday, Mom. And so I did speak with them. But it wasn't until I brought that to them and I expressed it towards them and we were talking about it, blah, blah, blah. And then we got off the phone and I was just thinking back on the conversation, and it was like, I remembered how I used to feel when I was a kid, in not wanting to conform, not wanting to play the societal game. But at that time when I was a kid, I didn't understand why I didn't want to do it. I just knew I had this strong energetic aversion to being a normal person and working a 9-to-5 job or working in a corporate atmosphere and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that I didn't try. I did try. But it always left me feeling worthless, less than, never good enough. It always left me feeling like my true self and who I really am and what I really am here to express was not good, was not acceptable, and was something that I needed to change. And it wasn't, and over all this time now in hindsight, I was seeing myself work my way back towards basically wanting to be a corporatist. But it's not even that I want to be a corporatist. It's that I just want some sort of stability in my life. I want some sort of permanence in my life. And I even, like my parents, my mom made a suggestion. She was like, well, you do like to travel, don't you? Well, why don't you think about, maybe applying to be a flight attendant? And I was like, that sounds like fun. I did used to work in the hospitality sector. And I really enjoyed it. I really liked working in hospitality. I like working with people. I like serving people. I like being there for people. I like helping people make their experiences better and more enjoyable and all that kind of stuff. I'm really good at it. I have a really good personality for it. But the whole corporate atmosphere, it just felt like I was going backwards. And I was backtracking, and I was giving up. That has been a narrative within the collective lately about, kind of giving up. Or should we be giving up, or should we just? And I've been allowing myself to flow with it through the understanding of surrender. I'm surrendering to the process. Okay. But then it hit me that as I was doing research and looking into it and watching videos about people that used to be flight attendants and blah, 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 or are still flight attendants, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds really nice. That does look like something that I would like to do, but I don't want to get back into that corporate atmosphere. I don't want to sell myself to, or sell my soul to a company like that. And I'm not trying to bash it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's not for me. It doesn't make me feel good. And so This morning when I woke, well, okay, so then last night was a very difficult night for me, but this morning, really, I had some dreams that kind of, yeah, hold on. It feels like you need to go to the extremes of interacting with others. Yeah. I had some dreams. Oh, hi, Dragoness. You're saying you want to go walk out into the forest and just stay there, even though you have work to do here still, balance in all things, so you need a place to be in the forest to go now. Yeah, that's a really good idea. It's a really good idea. Connecting to nature can really help with all of this kind of stuff. But last night, I had some dreams that kind of reflected this idea of going back to sleep. There was this masculine, this male figure that I remember communicating with and talking to. And I was in his apartment with him or something like that. And, we went through the process, and before I was about to leave, I noticed that he and I guess his roommate or another male masculine figure were in a bedroom, each on their own beds, but asleep. And so I had been communicating with this individual for some time in the dream, and then being in his apartment and then noticing that he had gone to sleep. And as I was writing all these things down last night, or this morning, excuse me, I started to understand that this was a reflection of this feeling of, are we going back to sleep? And then that started to translate more into what we're dealing with society right now, in terms of like the overturning of Roe v. Wade, and how that leaves doors open for a lot of other things that we have, other rights that we have solidified through the civil rights movement, how those can be called into question, and now those things can be revoked as well. Same-sex marriage, interracial marriage. I'm sure you guys have heard that narrative. But other than just that, if you look at the trajectory of society and how things have been developing lately, there is a big, what is the word I'm looking for? There is this view of humanity as a society that it kind of looks like we're all going backwards. It's like we've taken a few steps forward, but now all of a sudden we're taking steps backward, and things are reverting back to the way they were. And that kind of looks like societally it's like we're going back to sleep. And you think the collective is realizing that it's either take their power back from society or go back to sleep and be a robot battery. Hello, Stephanie. And that's really difficult. And from my point of view, yes, I'm a channeler, I'm a reader, I'm here trying to help the collective move forward, but I'm also a human being that's experiencing this as well. I am not removed from all of this. I have my own struggles and my own challenges to deal with in terms of this energy as well. So what it looks like for me is the struggle of wanting to continue to be independent and not understanding why things have been turning out the way they have, even though I've been putting in the effort and I've been putting in the work. And then me reaching that point in my life where I guess this is where people grow up, or they lose that sense of desire to go after the things that their heart is calling for, and instead conform in order to have a level of stability in their lives. The problem with it in this go around, or at this moment, is that, at least for me, from my point of view, it's that there are so many things that are happening right now within society that are the effects of us not necessarily screwing up, but those who are in power working to garner more power and literally fixing things or twisting things or putting laws or things in place to hold themselves in power and to kind of force everyone else who is not conforming to their idea of what humans should be doing, or what society is, or what a true contribution to society is and isn't. It's like they're molding and shaping things in order to keep themselves in power, while forcing everyone else who does not want to go down that same road to either conform or have their lives ruined. And so what I want to say in all of this, what I'm kind of feeling like, what I kind of feel like is best, what the advice I want to say at this moment is, don't give in to that. But then the human within me says, but so then what am I supposed to do? Or what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to allow ourselves to fall into despair? Are we supposed to allow ourselves to allow our lives to continue to be ruined? Or do we conform? Because a lot of the other part of this situation is, recently there has been, especially for me, since the beginning of this month, I have been very starkly aware of how little control I have over everything. I can put in the work and everything. I put on all the work, put in all the hours, and put all the effort for it to still not necessarily work out the way I had intended or hoped. So what am I supposed to do? You know? It's a very tricky position to be in. I can't tell you I have all kinds of answers, but this is what I excuse me, this is what I felt like needed to be brought to the collective today. I will say I was not feeling all that enthusiastic in terms of coming to the live today, to do a live today, but I felt spirit pushing me to do it. So okay, I'm here. And I really don't have much of a channeled message for that. So we're just going to get into the cards, because I do feel like the next step right now is to get into the cards about this. Life balance sometimes means turning the news off. It also means quitting your job or leaving a relationship. Our lives are only ruined when we don't take control over the things that we can. Yes, you are right, Stephanie, but I'm not going to say you're wrong, but I am going to say that I feel like that's not completely the truth, because that's a big part of what's happening in society right now, what's playing out. Those who have the money are the ones who have the power, and it's not necessarily someone that has been elected into office, we'll say. If you look at conventions like Davos or anything like that, these are all billionaires that are coming together trying to create this new world order, but none of us, the people, the actual people that helped them make their billions, none of us asked them to step in and change our lives for us. It is, in fact, quite the opposite. They are coming in saying or thinking that they have the power to make things better for us, when in reality, they're just garnering more success for themselves and are leaving everyone else behind. So there is this fine line between having control over your life and doing what is best for you, and then also others who wish to control you, flexing their muscle and doing things to take your rights and take your power away. So that's kind of it's right. That's right, Pages. It's a total power imbalance based on economic class. Josiah, you're saying, hey, R, you're saying you personally feel that spirit is leading you to create your own institutions, make a trust fund or something else that put the power directly to the hands of the people. I do feel like that is a big part of what's going on right now, Josiah. Collectively speaking, it's going to take some time to get there, but I do feel like that's part of what's going on here. And Lorraine, you're saying that working conventional jobs has never worked for you in the long term. Yeah. I will say that there, at least from my point of view, there's a lot of despair in terms of not knowing which way to go. You went back to the corporate, and granted, it's a slightly better environment than your last job, but you're also tired. And like I said, it's so hard to do it any other way, but you gotta eat. That's right, you gotta eat, but that's just the point. Anyway, all right, let's get into some cards here, because I feel like we're just rambling. But so in terms of this energy, the question that I'm posing to the collective or to the universe right now is to help us understand this energies of feeling like we either are choosing to go back to sleep, or maybe in some cases we're being forced to go back to sleep. But see, I don't even need to pull cards on that, because already I'm getting a download of this, because what this feels like is, and I mentioned this maybe a few weeks ago, a week or two ago. It feels like the pressure is really put on right now. And what I'm hearing Spirit is saying, the pressure is to, in fact, stop this spiritual ascension and just stay grounded to earth in terms of how we see it right now, to not allow ourselves to go any further, to, in fact, go back to sleep. Because they don't want us waking up like this. Because they want people to stay controlled. They want people to stay as zombies. They want to be able to tell you who to be, how to act, what careers to go for, what to not go for. And I personally don't understand it, because that's not something I would ever do to somebody else. But so as I'm feeling it right now, the best advice that I can give is just to continue pushing through. But I can't tell you I know exactly what's going to happen. Spirit is also saying keep pushing through and to work on being in alignment, or at least staying in alignment, okay? How much do we need to eat? Sometimes we take on more than we need to. 100,000 can be experienced with 50,000 when we use only what we need and do. Well, I will say that I have noticed that I don't need as much as I thought I did previously. If this last 2 years of my life have taught me anything, which it has taught me a lot, it's shown me that I don't need as much as I thought I needed in order to stay healthy and survive, and not even to survive, but really to thrive in a certain way. So that is part of it. At least when it comes to eating, I've noticed that I really only need to eat like twice a day, but that's just me. I could eat more. I do have a very high metabolism, but I really only need 2 good meals a day and I'm okay, So there is a level with this. There is a level of fine tuning in terms of understanding, coming to terms with what you really need to feel successful versus what you don't. Okay. Like trying to lull us to sleep with oppression and distractions. Yes. Mel, you've been feeling this. You've been so tired, and getting your new company off the ground has been so hard. You've just wanted to give up and close. I mean, that's where I've been as well. You applied to a corporate grocery store to ground myself. Spirit is telling to plant seeds of joy in this way, and then it will grow exponentially. That's wonderful. Yeah, let's get into some cards then. All right, so in terms of this energy of going back to sleep, what do you want to say to us about this, Spirit? And I'm working with the Soul Seeds Oracle deck to start. All right, so are we going back to sleep, Spirit? What do you want to say about that? Last shuffle here. All right, are we going back to sleep? What do you want to say about that? I'm also working with the Golden Universal Tarot. Going back to sleep. All right, guys. So, in terms of this energy of feeling like, are we going back to sleep? Is there a collective, are we collectively going back to sleep? First and foremost, I want to say it is still a choice. Stephanie, you're saying you've been disgusted with everything, your job, your weight, your health, your marriage. However, you keep trying daily to do whatever it takes to feel something better. Okay, yeah. Josiah, you're saying it's a message to us that we're all a part of Creator's world and that there are things we can set in place to shift the power, to take the power back. Wow, Keely. Wow. I mean, that's kind of beautiful. I don't know what to say about that either, unfortunately. I mean, that's your call. I don't know. But I guess off the top of my head, what I want to say is that's beautiful. Okay. Anyway, let's get back into these cards here. So I started working with the Soul Seeds Oracle at first. The cards that we got here are Open, Sprite, Moon, and Self. And the only card here that I don't actually have a definition for is Sprite, and I'm kind of wanting to go to the book here for it, but ultimately but I don't want to do that because at least I have an understanding of it now. And then I pulled some tarot cards to clarify each one of these so that I could have a better understanding of what's going on. And so we're going to talk about it through this. So first and foremost, let's start with Open. Open here is exactly what it sounds like or seems, open. And what Spirit is saying through this is remain open. Okay. The card, and then the tarot card that came out to clarify this is the Wheel of Fortune. So first and foremost, what we're going through right now is a time period of great change, okay? And actually, I will say this. I did seriously, like say, okay, so like in the suggestion that like say my mom gave me in terms of maybe transferring and moving into a flight attendant career. Which is something that sounds so cool, sounds so awesome. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love to travel and all that. But making that kind of commitment into getting into like a new career path such as that one, which is something that's going to be at least a 5-year thing just to get off the ground, right? I personally felt this warning. It's like, I don't know if I actually want to get wrapped up into a long-term commitment like that because I feel like there's so much that is changing in the world. And that is what this is confirming. So this is confirming if you're feeling like you want to remain open, then remain open. But also the message here is to remain open because there are big changes that are happening right now. And the main thing that I'm getting with this Wheel of Fortune here is there is so much uncertainty as to how things are going to turn out ultimately. We're only in the very beginning of these big changes, of the reshaping of society that is happening right now. Okay. All right. So then the next card here is Sprite. And the tarot card that came out to clarify this is the Six of Swords. Now, the Six of Swords represents movement, moving forward, okay? Moving from rough waters to calmer waters, moving beyond some form of, wow, I'm hearing things like crime, capital punishment. Crime and capital punishment, or some sort of tough circumstances or whatnot, whatever. But in this clarifying the card of Sprite, what this makes me think of when I hear the word Sprite, I feel excitement, and I think of what a Sprite actually is. A Sprite, from my understanding, and I'm not an expert on this, so take it as it resonates, but a Sprite is like a fairy, but sprites tend to be a little more mischievous than fairies. They tend to be the ones that really like cause trouble or create drama just for like shits and giggles. But there was a level of excitement coming through with the energy of Sprite. And I understand that I feel that the intention with this deck of cards is more positive and happy, high vibrational. Hey, enjoying the journey. A positive and high vibrational and everything like that. So I was picking up on the excitement energy of a sprite, or what a sprite could represent. But now, as I'm talking through it this way, sprite could also represent the mischievous energies that have been kind of at the works throughout the collective. But I'm also hearing in terms of like your forms of creative expression or something like that, feelings of being sabotaged or actions of sabotage towards you. We're moving away from this. Six of Swords. Slowly but surely, Spirit did just say, okay? Albeit slowly but surely. We are, in fact, moving forward, okay? And that's another reason why we need to remain open, because things are still up in the air, okay? There is no solid way to describe or to define how the chips are going to fall or where we're going to end up once we get out of this phase. All right. So we need to remain open, but we need to understand that the mischievous energy, the negative energy, the low vibrational energy that you may have been experiencing over this time, we're moving away from it. And I know it doesn't look like that right now. It doesn't seem this way right now, but universally speaking, we are moving forward. It might be moving at a snail's pace if that's how you perceive it, but it's still happening, okay? Next, we have Moon, which is illusion, which could represent fear. It could represent darkness. It could represent not being able to see quite clearly. And that is really what I'm getting from this, but the aspect of not really being able to see quite clearly. Because yes, the moon does reflect light, so there is some light coming from it, but it's not a strong amount of light, and it's definitely not light of its own. And so the light that it reflects often obscures things, often makes things so that you're not seeing it clearly for what exactly it is. But at the same time, the feeling that I'm getting from Moon here is dreams, aspirations. Even though you can't really see what's ahead of you fully, you can still dream about or keep focused on what it is you want to see, or what it is you want to feel, or where it is you want to end up throughout all of this. And the tarot card that came out to clarify this is the King of Wands. So this may really not be a time to act right now. At least too much. Obviously, you still got to do the things you need to do to keep yourself afloat, to keep your head above water, to do what at least do what you can to make whichever ends you can meet or need to be met to make that happen. But in terms of extending yourself, and I'm hearing specifically in terms of going above and beyond, I don't feel like, or I don't really believe that this is the right time for that right now, because there is no clear way ahead right now. Things are too soupy, things are too murky, things are too cloudy, things are too illusionary. However, with that said, hold your belief in yourself, hold your conviction. If in this moment, and granted, guys, keep in mind that this is a timeless reading, so this could resonate for you at any moment. It doesn't have to resonate for you at the moment that you're watching this, like right now or whatever. But wait, ooh, Stephanie, thank you so much for that donation. Hold on just a second, guys. Sorry about that. I needed to mute the mic because somebody was driving by with the music playing really loud, and I didn't want to try and channel and talk over it. So anyway, here we go. So when it comes to this moon energy here, these feelings of lack of clarity, of being unsure, of not knowing where you're going, knowing where you're going to end up, or how this is all going to work out, or where everything fits. Don't worry about that so much. If all you can do right now is work to keep your fire going, then that's really where you need to be focusing on. Okay? Speaking of Mercury in shadow, I did want to get into the chart because I did notice something. I haven't really been looking at the chart. I've been really doing a lot of personal introspection lately. But then when I looked at the chart for 30 seconds this morning, I did notice something that was making a lot of this make sense. Now think about it. Aha, Pages, damn it, Pages, you beat me to it. But anyway, we'll get into that in a second. And also, you guys probably saw because I had the chart up here. But anyway, I'll get to that in a second. But this really does make sense. So many of us have been feeling like not doing anything. And maybe there are some energies of, feeling like it's worthless, it's useless, like you don't necessarily want to do anything, but also that is part of a greater energy of there not really being moves to take right now. At least outside of the bare minimum, which egoically, Josiah, thank you so much for that donation. Egoically, our egos are like, nah, dude, I'm not going to do that. I got to do something. I got to hustle. I got to pay bills. Bop, 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 boop, de whoop, and all that bullshit, right? But at the same time, what else really is there to do what I'm hearing is source is saying, until there is some big, massive, universal societal change, there really isn't much that we can do other than hold our vibrations. Again, the pressure is on right now. It's like we're in a pressure cooker and the squeeze is getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And something is going to have to give. Something is going to have to shift. And we are just waiting for that moment to strike. What I am also getting with the moon here, I'm getting a message of pay close attention to what's happening. Okay? It may not be clear right now, but stay focused on what is in front of you. It's almost a warning. You know how you don't want to let enemies out of your sight, or a vermin or something out of your sight. You don't want it to escape because then you'll never find it again. It's almost like that. Pay very close attention to what's happening in front of you. Pay very close attention to those individuals. Now, this King of Wands, I am seeing us in this King of Wands here, okay? Holding our self-belief, holding our desire, holding our connection to God, Source, Creator through this shady time, we'll say. But also pay very close attention to the individuals that are really trying to put the hard sell on you right now, especially if you are in a time period of feeling really down, really low, really defeated, really depleted. That's exactly what they want. Because then at that point, they can come in and say, now I've got you. Now I can twist your arm into doing what it is I want you to do. But we're not going to let that happen, are we? And then I just heard, well, it is to your own detriment. And by whose hands will be doling out that detriment? It's very much like Jesus Christ being, Jesus being crucified. He stood up, he spread his light, he spread his message, he was sharing his message and all that kind of stuff. And what happened? The establishment put him to death. Hello, Arsh. I will not be answering personal questions. In this session. This is a collective session right now. But if you would like a personal reading with me, I am available for that. Check the information in the description box below. Shoot me an email and I can get you all hooked up. Yeah, I have all the information for my readings in the readings that I offer in the description box along with their prices. Yes? But this is a collective session right now. But thank you for being here. Okay, so I did hear it is to your own detriment. But so you mean that just because I'm not going to comply with what it is you want me to do, and I'm over here living my life not bothering you at all, because you can't control me, you're actually going to work to make my life worse until you can control me? That's on you. That has nothing to do with me. So take it as you will. And then finally, and this really does feel like the main focus of this reading, of this message for the collective, okay? We have the last card that's come out here is Self. And with that has come the Nine of Pentacles, the Three of Wands in reverse. And when this Three of Wands in reverse came out, I'm sure you guys heard me exclaim like, whoa, what? And I got one more card. I was hearing take one more card, and that one more card was the Ten of Pentacles. Overall energy at the bottom of the deck here, out of the tarot deck, is the High Priestess. This is exactly how we feel right now, isn't it? I know I can attest to this. The Nine of Pentacles, standing at the Nine of Pentacles, working and investing and doing what it is that we want to do, and seeing the Ten of Pentacles right there, just beyond our grasp, just beyond our reach, and feeling blocked. Three of Wands, feeling like what is meant to be coming in because of all the work that you've been putting in is blocked. Something is blocking the return on your investment. And I actually want to get more on that. What's blocking this return on investment, Spirit? What is this blockage? Why is this Three of Wands blocked here? Wow. You're only controlling yourself and doing what is best for you. Spirit is on point today. Excellent. I'm glad. I'm really glad this is resonating. Because I will say, that I was feeling very hesitant to come on today because I've really been in a weird space, connectively and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, but this is actually giving me a lot of insight as well. So what's blocking? Why is this return not happening? Three of Wands is reversed. Why is this return not happening? Because there's a big change happening, death. And what I'm seeing in this right now, you guys, is that yes, we've been working and working and working our way, and we can just see it. We could almost grab it. But now all of a sudden things seems to be sliding backwards. Whatever this Ten of Pentacles was, for some reason, the message now is, and the message is quite clear, the message now is there is something about this Ten of Pentacles energy that you were not meant to have. Or at least, I'm hearing, not in this way. And thus, you're not receiving the return on this investment. You're not reaching that final point, even though you're standing here at the Nine of Pentacles state. And understand, this Nine of Pentacles doesn't necessarily mean financial stability, but it does mean sovereignty and independence. Dragoness, Michelle, thank you so very much for that donation. Yeah, definitely smash that like button for me. But there's something about this. I'm hearing things like this wasn't the proper goal, this wasn't the proper outcome, or at the very least, things have changed significantly to the point where now whatever it is you've been working towards is no longer in alignment with you, is ultimately not necessarily going to get you to where you is that you had expected to go, or it's not the proper alignment for you anymore. And so in terms of this self energy, this is where the focus really needs to be. And I know this is going to sound cliche, but instead of focusing outward, really focus inward. So like Stephanie said, sometimes you've just got to turn off the news and disconnect from the mainstream and everything like that. That's exactly what I've been doing over the last few days. I've been really working on this deep level of introspection and literally find myself asking Spirit, okay, so what now? If that's not right for me, or if the dynamic, and when I say that something has changed drastically enough, I feel like it's the dynamic within whatever system, whatever situation, whatever goal or whatnot that you have, the dynamic within that has changed to a point where it's no longer what it used to be, or it doesn't have those positive or beneficial aspects or attributes that it once had that you aspired to be a part of. It's not there any longer. It's been, leached out. It's been destroyed. It's been corrupted, I want to say. And what spirit is actually saying to you in this, sorry, my lips are all chapped. What spirit is actually saying to you in this is, even though it may not look like it, this is actually a victory for you. 6 of Wands is overall energy at the bottom of the deck. And what I want to say about this, guys, is you may have actually dodged a really serious bullet in terms of this. Or at least you are able to dodge a bullet, a serious bullet. Hello. Oh my gosh, you guys. Hi, Julie. It is so good to see you. Ronnie Passmore. Hello. Lakewood, Colorado in the house. Hey, what up, what up, what up? But check it out, you guys. Like straight up and down, I'm hearing and feeling with this 6 of Wands energy that you may very well have dodged a bullet here. And then I was curious to look at what was underneath, excuse me, at the bottom of the 6 of Wands, underneath the 6 of Wands, it's the devil. Something has changed. The dynamic has changed drastically. So much so that you don't need to be a part of that any longer. I'm getting this image, I'm getting this feeling of spirit or the universe reworking the situation for you. And it's funny, actually. I just remembered a moment that I had. I think it was last night. Again, last night was a very difficult, very, very, very difficult moment for me. But in me working on going within and really internalizing things and trying not to, I was really internalizing a lot last night, which is not healthy. But really trying to work on my own situation from within. I do remember hearing Spirit say something like, just bear with us. Give us a moment to rework your trajectory here, okay? I literally, wow, yes, this was last night. And I remember hearing them say this, and it kind of boggled my mind a little bit because of the way that they said it to me. But what they said was, give us a little more time to work out your way forward now. Because things have changed, okay? And it's not your fault. You didn't do anything to manifest it in this way. All right? So just bear with us, please. Give us a little more time to work things out for you. And that's translating more as, that's not just a message for me. This is also a message for the collective. So while Spirit is in this moment of reworking your way forward here, continue to focus on yourself. Stop focusing outward. Okay? Keep your focus internal. And what I mean by that is, yeah, okay. And I will say this, at the bottom of our Oracle deck, we do have curious. So remain curious. And also, this came out. This was at the top of the deck, but it showed up in the way that I put the deck down earlier, and now it's showing itself. So I'm going to say that. You have connect. Okay? So what Spirit is saying here is focus on yourself. Focus on your internal reality. And that means feeling anything and everything that is coming up for you right now. If you need to take time to just sit with those feelings, please do it. Do not push anything away. Do not force yourself to move through something or to heal something or to release something before it actually happens naturally. Just focus on experiencing what is going on in your internal reality, okay? Remain curious and remain connected to the divine, okay? I want to clarify, I'm curious, not even gonna lie. Not even gonna lie to you guys, I'm curious. So I want to talk a little bit more about this death process, okay? But let me check back in for the chat. Janine. Hi, Janine. I just want to see what you guys are saying. Considering the connections you're making this week. Interesting, okay. Well, see, Mel, that's the thing. That's the thing. Because I've been in that energy too. It's like, I literally, like, I remember last night I was breaking down, sobbing. I'm like, what did I do wrong? I don't understand why, what happened? Where did I go wrong? What did I do? And the message was very clear. Eric, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't mess it up. There are some external forces out there that were out of your control. No. And that's exactly how I felt, Mel. You felt like this not coming together made you think you messed up somewhere and made a huge mistake. Nope. You didn't. You were following the guidance like you were supposed to. But also remember that nothing in life is a guarantee, okay? Even before we actually get into this physical incarnation, when we are planning the life that we are about to live or lead, it's all probabilities. Yes, certain things are a greater probability, have a greater probability of happening or coming to pass than others. And yes, there are going to be certain things, there are going to be certain major events in your life that are going to create certain circumstances that are going to allow you to really face the big lessons that you face, that you're meant to face in your lifetime. But as far as exactly what that is, nothing is set in stone. Okay? It's all a probability. There is so much of a wild card. Okay? It's not just you here and your sense of free will. It's all the other individuals that are on this planet and their sense of free will that is taken into account with all of this. So no, it's not like we've done anything wrong. It's just that things didn't exactly work out as we had planned and or hoped, but that's okay. There is a solution ahead. There is a way to resolve this. But we have to, and this is something that I've really come to terms with lately in terms of needing to surrender and allowing myself to surrender. We have to take our hands off the wheel and say, okay, you guide me then, Spirit. What am I supposed to do next? Yes. These are all very, very true things, you guys, that you're saying here in the chats. Yes. So, okay. I want to look a little bit more, dive a little bit more into this death energy. All right, Spirit. So, death here. What do you want to say about death? What's going on with this death energy? Okay. All right, guys. First thing that I want to say is that this shift is so much bigger, than any one of us specifically. This is so much bigger than any one of us. Okay, this is a big collective situation. Death. And what's interesting about this is last night, I was watching a documentary on some of the mindsets that a number of people within a number of the younger generations, some of the younger generations of China have been adopting. I don't know the actual Chinese terms. I don't remember them. I can't pronounce them right now. I believe one of them is baila, but it's lay flat. It started with what is known as lay flat, and then it subsequently went to let it rot. There are a lot within, and I think this is within the millennial collective. Okay, but there is a lot of people that are just like, I'm not running this rat race for you anymore. And I mean, that is a really, I want to say, a crude way to describe it. But I know for myself, I was watching it last night and I was like, wow, I really resonate with a lot of this. It's a direct opposite to what is known as the 996 work style. You know, you work from 9 to 9. You work a 12-hour day, 6 days a week, and stuff like that. Like, it's overexertion. It's literally all for money. But anyway, death. Hold on. Dolores Cannon pointed out that this would be the entire collective of Earth, and that the whole universe is watching the ascension of Earth. Oh, okay. But so what death is saying here, death is clarified by the Four of Cups, the Page of Wands reversed, the Five of Swords reversed, and the King of Pentacles. This King of Pentacles in this situation feels like the oppressor. And this is the energy that the King of Pentacles would want you to subscribe to. And in this situation, the Five of Swords would represent against all odds, or by any means possible. We're going to make a profit. We're going to become millionaires, blah, blah, blah. We're going to have all these fancy things. We're going to be wealthy people, blah, 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 in the eyes of society by any means possible. Well, death here represents us saying no. Page of Wands is reversed. That is a no. Five of Swords reversed. I'm not fighting this battle with you. I'm not running this rat race with you. I'm not competing with everyone else and stepping on the necks and the backs of everyone else just because you say so, or just because I want to be like you, blah, blah, blah. No. It's not happening. Four of Cups. No, thank you. This King of Wands energy is in direct opposition to this King of Pentacles energy. But exactly, Stephanie, by any means does in fact come at a cost. And usually that cost is the health and well-being of yourself, your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, and the health and well-being of others. There are so many examples in our society right now, especially in American culture, of how people give their lives just for profit. Our healthcare industry in the United States is a prime example of that. Healthcare should not be something that you profit off of. Like, what kind of twisted mindset would come up with that? But then there are so many people in our country that agree with that, that like that align with that, but they probably are trying to profit off of it themselves as well. Jeannie, you're saying you released control and Spirit showed me the new place you just moved into a couple of days ago. It's totally foreign and you have no choice but to surrender because it's the new cycle. Yeah. It's incredibly sad. And unfortunately, it's this need for profit that is running our world into the ground. It's very unfortunate. Okay. Closing messages. Yes. Hold on. All right, closing message is going to come from the Lightworker Oracle today. Hey, Ashley. All right, closing messages. Okay. We have card number 40, Orbs of Light. The spiritual worlds are delivering a message to you. You may have already heard it through telepathic reception and mistaken it for your own thought. Yet, it is inspired by your higher guidance, those spiritual beings that love you without condition. It's an answer to a question and guidance to increase your happiness. It is possible to pray without realizing it. The universe is lovingly listening to every thought and feeling in your heart and mind. When you intentionally speak to the universe and ask your higher guidance to help you with an issue that is this is a powerful way to call the light into your life. It works, often quite rapidly. However, sometimes we ask for help without being so aware of doing so. Keely, thank you. Keely, thank you for that donation, but I'm not taking personal readings in this session today. Where was I? Oh, however, sometimes we ask for help without being so aware of doing so. Worrying about an issue or pondering a question are ways this happens. There are orbs of light around you. They are spiritual beings that love you. These orbs contain information and energies that help answer questions and worries through the intelligence and love of the higher spiritual worlds. That information might come through a song, a phrase, a feeling, or a color or symbol that unlocks awareness in the deeper recesses of your mind and body. Hey, you woman, you. Orbs are always around us, but appear in more concentrated form, both in quantity and quality, in certain places and at certain times, including when your energy is in a particularly soft and receptive, high-frequency state. Oh, okay. Orbs naturally gravitate towards high energy. This doesn't mean you have to be on the go constantly. Higher energy can be created when you are very still by raising your frequency to a higher vibrational state. You can do this by regularly meditating on love and healing. You can place yourself in a state that is most attractive to orbs of light by relaxing, opening your heart, and feeling good. You are also likely to perceive them around you in this state, which can be fun and beautiful experience. Orbs are often only seen in photographs where they appear as soft balls of light. If they are enhanced and magnified, patterns, symbols, and faces can sometimes be seen within them. This is part of the loving genius of the spiritual world, the way that light can reach the earth in form, helping to raise the frequency from fear to love. Being in nature and doing some invocations to unconditionally love creates an energy that is very attractive to orbs. So is group work based in love, such as meditating together to clear a sacred space in nature, then dancing and praying together in that space with joyful devotion to love. This attracts high-level guidance because a group can be a container powerful enough to generate and hold the higher frequencies of love. This can also happen for individuals, but group energy can be a powerful and effective way to attract a great downpour of spiritual grace. Excuse me. Clearing the energy of your home and calling in higher guidance to bless you and your home each day, perhaps with the invocation below, will also create a space in which orbs of light can more easily visit you, bringing their uplifting energy and healing light. To access the information of these orbs of light, to be open to seeing them more clearly, whether directly... Oh, okay. It's going to give you the invocation. So we're not going to go through that part. But what this is saying to me here is that we do have the help, the guidance that's here with us. Okay? And it's also telling me that the answers are coming, that we have been asking the questions, seeking the answers, even if we're not consciously aware of it. And those answers are coming. But we all just have to do the one thing that we're all so very tired of hearing. And that's we just got to be patient. The source is also saying they're bringing me back to the situation of allowing things to work out, allowing the universe to work out the next direction or the next step. Okay? Stephanie, I just got your email. So yeah. There we have it, guys. I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you guys so much for being here, for tuning in. I have missed you guys. I still need some time to be with myself and everything like that, but I'm doing my best, and I've got to get back into doing private readings because I know you guys have been asking. I know you guys need them, so I need to get back into that. Yeah, but I've really been just allowing myself to focus on going with the flow, you know, divine timing, and working on trying not to worry. Don't worry, and just let things play out as they will. So, there we have it. Well, that's okay, Jeannie. I'm still glad to see you here. You're very, very welcome. I hope you guys have an excellent rest of your day. Again, it was very, very good to see you all. You guys always uplift my spirits, so thank you for being here. Yeah. And I'm gonna go and continue going within, continue my meditation, continue just focusing inward. Yeah? But I love you guys, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Excellent, Ronnie. Excellent. I'm so grateful. I love you guys. I'm not sure what's gonna go on for the rest of the week. I know I was guided to come on today. As I said, I heard that earlier in the week. But as far as the rest of the week, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just gonna take it day by day. And we'll probably get back into a schedule at some point, but right now it's literally about not resisting and just going with the flow. So we'll see what happens. I love you guys. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon, yeah? Okay, cool. Bye.